Welcome to the Standby Generator Podcast, brought to you by Power Alliance. I'm your host, Jim Swetman. Together, we will dive into the world of the standby power business, offering expert insights, industry trends, and actionable strategies to help you grow and scale your generator business. Whether you're looking to optimize your operations, increase profitability, or stay ahead of the curve, this podcast is your go-to resource. So grab a seat and let's power up your business for success. All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Hi, this is Jim Swetman, president of Power Alliance, and I just wanted to invite you to one of our podcasts here. This is directed to automatic power standby dealers throughout the United States, whether you're Generac or Kohler or one of the other ones. So wanted to invite you to this informational podcast that I will be talking about. And really what I'm doing is I'm getting questions that have come to me over the last several months, specific to try and help out you dealers out there. And the questions have come from CEOs, operations manager, divisional managers, presidents, owners, CFOs of standby generator companies throughout the United States. But here, let's get to some of the questions that I've gotten that are going to kind of help you out. One of them, of course, everybody's just heard the news about the substantial price increase that Generac has put on the dealers for their new generators. It's a substantial amount of increase, and you say to yourself, okay, what do I do? Well, you as a business owner, there's no reason for you to absorb all that cost. You have to pass it along to your customers. So you do need to add that additional price increase, and this will give you a great chance to take a look at your overall costs, your labor costs, your insurance costs, everything that you have to do running a company. This is a great time to step back and take a look and see what you need to adjust to your costs. Your costs are not going down, they're going up. You have to pass that along to the prospective customer, unfortunately. You also, with this substantial price increase that's going on, obviously you need to add your margins onto that as well. So this is a great time, you as a business owner, to step back, really have a meeting with your sales department and say, hey, okay, let's take a look at the industry. Let's take a look at what our competitors doing. Let's take a look at everything to see what we have to do with our pricing. Let's talk about that for a second, too, the way you price up either your new installations or your maintenance programs. I'm a believer, and I'm sure you are, that you cannot be the lowest number out there and continue to be in business. If you're consistently the lowest price Generac or Kohler dealer out there and you're consistently low, you are going to be out of business. Another thing, too, is when you sit with your salespeople and they're always upset because Joe's Electric is consistently lower than you, you as a business owner need to be patient because Joe's Electric / generators will not be in business in the next or 2 years to be consistently less than you. So you need to price what your costs are. Don't ever price to what your competitors are doing. You need to take a look at your overhead. You need to take a look at what you need to do to reinvest into your company. And you need to put those numbers together and make sure, too, that they're reasonable, of course, but you need to stay in business and you need to make money. That's always the bottom line. You also need to make sure that your salespeople feel comfortable with that number. And one of the things that I have found out over the 20-some years that I owned a generator company is that your salespeople need to feel comfortable with that number. When you give a number of $14,000, $12,000 for a generator installation, your salesperson needs to feel extremely comfortable that that is a reasonable number. When your salesperson does not believe in that number, even with the price increase that you have to put in there, the prospective customer is going to feel very, very uncomfortable with that. So you need to make sure your salesperson knows where you're coming up with that number. How are you pricing up the generators and the labor and the materials and the overhead and the margins? The salesperson needs to understand where all those numbers are coming from, so that when they present that number to the prospective customer, he feels 100% confident. So in summary, on this specific topic that I've gotten a lot of calls on here, you need to add that complete amount into your total costs, the price increase. You need to have this time to step back and take a look at what your overall costs are. And you need to pass these along to the consumer, and your salespeople need to be confident that that is the correct number that you're going to be doing. All right. Here is a question that I've got from Joe. He's a CFO out of Florida. He said, "Hey, Jim, my leads are down. I did not have as good as a year as I did in 2024. I usually do about 850 installations, but I only did about 750. So I'm concerned about moving into 2025. What are some of the things that I can do differently to increase leads coming into my dealership?" Well, what I've learned, again, owning a dealership for over 20 years and doing 6,000-7,000 generator installations, you need to have a target. There are several things that you need to do. And again, a lot of this is making changes the way that you are marketing and selling yourself. So there's not one specific way that you can magic wand that you can wave that you're going to get more leads. But you need to be consistent and you need to make changes. If you're not getting the installs and the leads that you want, there needs to be make some changes. And some of those changes are process changes within your organization. But let's take a look at the easy ones that you need to take a look at. One is targeted marketing campaigns. Specifically social media advertising. You need to utilize the platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google Ads to create a targeted advertising. Use demographics and behavioral targeting to reach homeowners in areas prone to power outages. Whether you have to hire somebody to come in and do that for you, or you have your marketing manager, or if you're a smaller company, you might want to take a look at bringing somebody in and doing that for you. SEOs or search engine optimization, optimize your website. You need to, if you've got a stagnant website, and I've seen this many times, you scroll down to the bottom of a dealer's page and it hasn't been updated since 2019. If you've got a stagnant website that's just sitting there and you're not, people are doing searches and they're not getting to you, they're finding your other competitors first and looking at them. So please make sure that you have your website optimized so that prospective customers can see you up there right on Google. And, content marketing. Some of these are obvious things, but you need to take a look at. It's a little harder to do these things and it takes a little extra time. But if your salespeople are not making phone calls, have them do some blog posts, have them do some videos and address and, things like that. Have them post things on the internet through your LinkedIn page or your Instagram. Make it fun too. This is a fun thing to build up and start touching customers. Networking and events. You as a business owner or an operational manager or a sales manager need to get involved with the community, whether it's the building exchange or the electrical associations, trade shows, attend relevant trade shows, Local business networking, it's not easy sometimes to go into a room and join a local networking group, but you really, really need to do that, and that builds depth. You need to get out there. Also, you've got to start getting involved in the community as far as what they're doing, whether it's something as simple as sponsoring the local Little League, or more importantly, something bigger like the Cancer Association or anything like that. You need to be in front. You need to be out there. It may be a little difficult for you because you're not used to this, but this is what's needed to build and grow your company, and to get things going with that. Again, I've got, somebody asked me too, hey, Jim, you know what? I've got a lot of competitors now coming into my marketplace, and that's another big question. Jim, you know what? There are so many dealers in my area, whether it's Generac or Kohler. How do I maintain market share in these areas? Well, when I owned Home Power Systems, I had a very aggressive marketing campaign that was consistent. And I personally felt that if a dealer was growing in my area, I'm not doing my job. And it's as simple as that. What that meant is I had a very aggressive radio campaign, especially talk radio. I had campaigns going on in Facebook, and I was always out there all the time, not only to get new customers, but also it's that repetitive hearing of your dealership, Home Power Systems, for people that are your current customers that hear you and making them feel comfortable that you're still around. Also, that you're also promoting service, maintenance, and warranty repair. So there's existing customers that are hearing your radio ads. They are also feeling comfortable, even though you already did the installation, that you're there to do the service, maintenance, and warranty repair. So, to control the market, you've got to be aggressive. You've got to tell the story. You've got to be out there. You cannot rely on word of mouth for your business, especially as it grows. Your business may be at a $3 million mark or $4 million mark with the installations, and you've hit kind of a brick road on that. And what can I do when I hit that threshold and I'm not going any further? Well, there's about 8 different answers that I have for that, but let's stick with the specific question that I had from a dealer about controlling the market. One of the things you can do is you can do a market analysis. Regularly analyze competitors' pricing, their product features, and customer reviews, and that can be a specific piece on it. So unique selling propositions, or they call them USPs. It's good. Clearly communicate what sets your generators apart, whether it's your dealership apart, right? What specifically is different. One of the things that I did when I owned a dealership is, I made sure that prospective customers were making the effort to come out and not only take a look at my facility, but take a look at the competitors' facilities. So hopefully, if you don't have one, you want to work towards it. You want to have a nice showroom. And it isn't just a little closet where you come in there. People are spending $12,000, $15,000 on a generator. You want to have, a nice showroom to show them, and then tell them to go check out your competitors' offices. And then from a professional facility that you have, if you don't have one now, you're probably going to be hopefully working up to that. People come out and take a look, and they will, choose you. So obviously, exceptional customer service. You have to have customer service. Again, our clientele is the older clientele. They want to be taken care of. What does that mean? Right from the phone call that comes into your office. Now, I know a lot of people have, phone trees when they call in, dial 1 for service, dial 2 for new installations. If there's any possibility that when somebody calls in and they get a live person, that always, makes it nice. So it starts right off, right from the phone call of the person coming in. Remember, the prospective customer, by the time they make that phone call to you to talk to somebody about scheduling a site survey, they've already saw your website. They've already seen your social media. They've already heard your radio ads. So hopefully all that has been professionally done. You've been aggressive in what you're doing, and when they finally make that phone call to gain some more information and schedule a site survey, you're already ready to go, and the customer service is key. Because remember, you're going to be talking to a very educated consumer. They already know a whole lot about these standby generators, and they want to make sure that your staff knows more than they do on installations, and to make sure that you treat them like gold. And of course, brand reputation, or your reputation as a dealer. This is so important, and the reputation goes in 5, 6, 10 different directions. The reputation of your dealer is really based on the way that you execute your generator installations, the way that your techs are dressed, the way that your vans look, the way that you handle issues, and reputation is everything. It's not easy to be consistent out there. It's easy for your installation or your maintenance guys sometimes to take shortcuts, but reputation is earned, and it's going to take a while to get that. So if you think you have a bad reputation on something, or your reviews are not looking good, you really need to take a look in the mirror to make sure that you're making those changes as far as, being able to control your market. Another thing you want to maybe look at is geographic expansion. That's hard too. There's a lot of questions and answers about doing that. Usually, the way that I did geographic expansion in upstate New York is we acquired a generator company that was the next town over. And acquisitions are a lot easier to do than starting from scratch and building brand new. But there's a whole nother segment that we can do just on acquisitions of potential dealers that are your competition, or maybe looking to get out of the market. But I hope this 18, 19 minutes has helped you out. Again, my name is Jim Swetman, president of Power Alliance, and I'd really like, if you have any questions, to give us a call here or get on to our website, poweralliance.com. There's a whole lot of other things that we need to talk about, but I wanted to go ahead and get these 3 or 4 things out there that people have been calling me on that they're really worried about. Thanks. Thank you for tuning in to the Standby Generator Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share. For more resources, tips, and to connect with other like-minded professionals, visit us at poweralliance.com or visit our social media pages. Until next time, keep powering up your business.